Article of Faith number 12. We believe in being subject to kings, presidents, rulers, and magistrates, in obeying, honoring, and sustaining the law. From the Doctrine and Covenants, section 98, verses 5 through 9. And that law of the land which is constitutional, supporting that principle of freedom in maintaining rights and privileges, belongs to all mankind, and is justifiable before me. Therefore I, the Lord, justify you and your brethren of my church in befriending that law which is the constitutional law of the land. And as pertaining to the law of man, whatsoever is more or less than this cometh of evil. I, the Lord God, make you free, therefore ye are free indeed, and the law also maketh you free. Nevertheless, when the wicked rule, the people mourn. From section 101, verses 77 through 80. According to the laws and constitution of the people, which I have suffered to be established, and should be maintained for the rights and protection of all flesh, according to just and holy principles, that every man may act in doctrine and principle pertaining to futurity, according to the moral agency which I have given unto them, that every man may be accountable for his own sins in the day of judgment. Therefore it is not right that any man should be in bondage one to another. And for this purpose have I established the constitution of this land by the hands of wise men, whom I raised up unto this very purpose, and redeemed the land by the shedding of blood. Article 4, Section 2. The citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens in the several states. Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this Union a republican form of government. Article 6. This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land. And the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. The senators and representatives before mentioned, and the members of the several state legislatures, and all executive and judicial officers, both of the United States and of the several states, shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution, but no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. The Sixth Amendment. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. Utah Code, Title 77, Utah Code of Criminal Procedure, Chapter 15, Inquiry into Sanity of Defendant, Section 6, Commitment on Finding of Incompetency to Stand Trial, Subsequent Hearings, Notice to Prosecuting Attorneys, effective May 8th, 2018. Effective May 8th, 2018, 77-15-6, Commitment on Finding of Incompetency to Stand Trial, Subsequent Hearings, Notice to Prosecuting Attorneys. Subsection 1A, except as provided in subsection 5, if after a hearing a court finds a defendant to be incompetent to proceed, the court shall order the defendant committed to the department for restoration treatment.
On the heels of the KSL investigators' detailed reports last night at 10, tonight we were learning about a change at the Salt Lake County Jail. News specialist Nicole Val digging into the brand new policy there. Nicole, what can you tell us?
Well, Mike, this policy formally went into effect today. One goal, to put a cap on the inmate population here at the Salt Lake County Jail, even though information KSL obtained shows there's plenty of room.
What this is meant to do is release people who are mentally ill, who have substance abuse issues, and get them on the right path.
A plan promoting alternatives to incarceration rolled out today in Salt Lake County. This 4-page special order lays out who cops can and cannot book into jail.
And this is one step in coming up with better treatment, better programs, and better opportunities for people to have productive lives outside of our Salt Lake County Jail.
County Council member Jenny Wilson was one of many officials to sign off on the measure. The 5-phase plan puts a cap on how many inmates are allowed in, encouraging pretrial release, expanding the use of electronic monitoring, and only booking those accused of certain crimes.
I could not be more pleased with the people committed to solutions here at Salt Lake County.
Wilson explains this is all part of Utah's criminal justice reform, a complex issue.
It really is the most complex policy area, but clearly the most important.
KSL obtained information that shows currently there are over 2,100 beds in the Salt Lake County Jail. The new plan states now only 1,700 prisoners will be allowed to use them.
Why, if there's over 2,100 jail beds, why are they reducing the the jail population to 1,700?
So specific questions on the management of the jail, I would defer to the sheriff.
Now, KSL did speak with Salt Lake County Sheriff Jim Winder tonight, asking him that last question and other questions we had. He told us he is planning a very detailed news conference later this week, either tomorrow or Thursday, with experts present to lay out all the details about this very complex policy, to explain everything in this new policy and the new changes here at the jail. Of course, we will be at that news conference when it happens and bring you any updates on what he says. Back to you.
All right, Nicole Val live for us this evening in Salt Lake County. Nicole, thank you. Deanie?
From the Book of Mormon, from the Book of Mosiah, chapter 29, verses 21 to 23. And behold, now I say unto you, ye cannot dethrone an iniquitous king, save it be through much contention and the shedding of much blood. For behold, he has his friends in iniquity, and he keepeth his guards about him, and he teareth up the laws of those who have reigned in righteousness before him. And he trampleth under his feet the commandments of God, and he enacteth laws, and sendeth them forth among his people, yea, laws after the manner of his own wickedness. And whosoever doth not obey his laws, he causeth to be destroyed. And whosoever doth rebel against him, he will send his armies against them to war. And if he can, he will destroy them. And thus an unrighteous king doth pervert the ways of all righteousness. From the Declaration of Independence in Congress, July 4th, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security.